Perfect. All right. What's up, everybody? Good evening. If you guys are just hopping in, I'm going to go ahead and keep it quick as far as news are concerned, and we're going to go ahead and just get to straight to charting. So we'll give everybody here just a few minutes to hop in. So if you guys are hopping in on TikTok, make sure to leave a like. If you guys want to have one of your charts looked at, let me know. And if you can drop that request in the YouTube channel. So, hey, what's up? All right. One more time, I'm going to go ahead and tag everybody. Your take on Starbucks. If you want me to take a look at something and you're dropping that request right now, I would just ask that you please drop that request on YouTube so I don't miss it. Let me go grab my pen. All right. YouTube link is in the bio. Yep. What do I think about AMD? SPY calls today, baby. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Looks like we got everybody in here. Yeah, you can drop those requests in the YouTube channel, and we'll get to those in just a second. So anyway, so 10 out of 11 sectors finished green. As you guys can see here, we did have a vast majority of these sectors closing out green, so that was pretty nice. S&P up 2.02%, NASDAQ 2.76%, the Russell 3.19%, and the Dow Jones 1.34% to the upside. We also saw Home Depot with earnings. They had EPS of $4.09 versus the $3.68 expected. Revenue was $38.9 billion versus the $36.7 expected. So they had a strong earnings. JMIA, one of my long-term or long favorites, jumped about 30% on a strong earnings. I didn't even see this one move to the upside. So liquid death is such trash. It's delicious. I love it. Anyway, Walmart slumped after cutting its profit outlook. And that's pretty much about it. As far as if you guys want to look into any of the earnings revenue, I have those. You can DM me on Discord and I will send you those links. So we did see just a couple of bulletins today to keep in mind going into tomorrow. Robinhood is looking to diversify away from stock trading by expanding its crypto offerings. The company announced a new standalone app which will be available in the US and internationally, which will allow users to hold and custody their crypto and NFTs. The move puts Robinhood in direct competition with Coinbase and private companies like MetaMask. So let's see here. So I can't day trade anymore. Learning how to swing trade is good. How do you get the thing above with all the stocks and the percentage change? This is TradingView's heat map. And am I bullish for tomorrow? We're going to talk about that in just a minute. So okay, so that's about it. If you guys did see, and I'm going to go over SPY just before anybody asks. If you guys did see SPY had a gnarly setup. It looked like a rising megaphone. Very rarely do I ever see like a strong setup like this where the pattern adheres to the setup. But as you can see, strong support coming through here. And then as of today, as far as the setup, lower time frame 5 minute, it does look potentially as if we could see a rejection. I did end up closing out some of my potential swings today on SQ and Facebook, just due to the fact that SPY, regardless of this lower time frame, is really, really, really close, if not right there up against downtrend. The 500 HMA at 410, which is also my supply zone, is where drink what? Oh, but is also where I need to see SPY move above, and then we can start talking shop about the 415 level, and potentially 418.26. So how tight do you typically keep your stop loss in day trades? So I typically scale into trades to avoid that. On the flip side, so besides, and I'm just going to give you one more level here. So we did fill the gap. That was where we stopped out at. We filled the gap completely. Sorry about that. We filled the gap completely with an inverse head and shoulders. This is oftentimes a reversal pattern. This is notable more on the hourly time frame. So again, I would only expect to see a move to around 415, and so on and so forth. Which brings me to my last point about SPY. If you pull this higher time frame up, you will notice that SPY does have a trend line all the way up at the 430s, where you have this aggressive level right here. So that's pretty far away, and we have a lot of steps in order to get there. But that's the overall setup right now on SPY. So my watch list tomorrow. We do have the economic calendar to keep in mind. Tomorrow's May 18th. Housing starts, building permits, NBA mortgage application index, all coming in tomorrow as economic data at 7 and 8:30. And then as far as my watch list is concerned, still targeting Facebook. So this one closed out with what I still think could possibly be a inverse cup and handle. So this is the cup right here. And I'm just giving you guys this setup, and I'll obviously take your request. If you guys are on TikTok, make sure to slap the like button. I do appreciate it. But there's your handle, there's your cup. And I'm looking for this to possibly move below the 198 level, and that's where we could see a possible reversal. On the flip side, because you guys know I don't go into anything unbiasedly, we've got a major resistance, and I talked about this today, where this could be an ascending triangle, and we could see Facebook push to 405.50, where we saw it push 2 times in the last 2 days. So I will be watching Facebook above 205.50 to the upside, and of course we'll be watching price action as it approaches 204, because that could be an early entry where I scale in to Facebook. So you wish you knew what you were talking about. You don't. So anyway, this one does have a potential lower time frame bull flag. So last one that I'm going to be watching. I know a lot of you have questions about Rivian, and that's probably one of the first ones that I'd like to address, because I want to explain something about leaps and taking positions based off of fundamentals. I look at trading leaps just like Rollman does, almost as if I'm renting equity. So renting a short position on Rivian. So I do have a call just in case this one moves to the upside. It does have a gap to fill. I did see flow for the $30 strike, which is exactly where Rivian's supply is. If you don't know what supply and demand is, it's another word for support and resistance. Right? So if you go to Rivian, you have $30 even. That is where you get 1, 2. Let's zoom over here. Happy birthday to me tomorrow. What are you talking about? My birthday. Anyway, so this one likely to test that $30 level. And then right in the middle, so you guys know you can always divide these in half, 32.30. If Rivian gets that far, I will still hold my leap, because it is what I would consider to be 5 to 10% amount of the total position that I'll take. The weeklies that we took or any shorter expiration contracts will be cut, but we are hedging ourselves right now. And this is how, again, we're not day trading. We are looking long. We're looking long term at things like Rivian, Lucid, to continue potentially falling to the downside. If we're wrong, we're going to be hedged and we'll be able to let those contracts do work. So I got 414. You might see a gap up tomorrow. So last one. Sorry, I said last one before. NVIDIA. So NVIDIA finished, closed out really strong. Squares on the watch list too. I'm sorry, I keep saying the last one. This one has a unfilled gap all the way to 184.60. This is also a huge level, okay? Why is it a big level? Again, addressing supply and demand, right? So in between the levels of 185 and 200, that is the supply zone above us. If you split that in half to give you the median, that's 192.50. So if we're watching NVIDIA, we would be watching for the gap fill to 184.65. And then potentially from there, I would, and I really think that at that point you would want to probably avoid any day trades, because the one thing we don't want to do is we don't want to try and long something that someone could possibly be trying to short. We are still in a downtrend, and from what I can see, lower time frame downtrend here, right here, that has NVIDIA at a downtrend as we speak. Excuse me. There we go. So if this gap fills again, that would likely bring us up to gap fill, right? That would likely bring us up to. So if we gap up tomorrow to resistance, I will be waiting, because at that point we will be at a daily downtrend, or at our daily downtrend. So crashed sales are buy. Hold on, let me zoom in a little bit for you guys. Okay, so there you can see inverse head and shoulders, right? Whole ribbon indicator flip. But remember the daily time frame, okay? We're still in that strong downtrend. I would still say that at this point, we need to see a close above 185 in order to see continuation of the upside. All right, if you guys have any requests, you can go ahead and drop those now, especially in the YouTube channel. Those will likely be done. So if you really want your chart or your chart charted or your stock charted, just drop your request on the YouTube channel. The link is in the bio, and then you can hop right back on YouTube. So, for instance, supply is right above us at $91, and there's a very, very small gap to fill at 95. So. All right, so the first one that we have on the YouTube, of course, we looked at SPY. I'll do a double take on this one just so you guys, and remember, if you're in the Discord tomorrow, we will be doing charting exercises, so timed charting exercises in order to help you guys with finding these key levels. And so that's probably what you're going to want to focus on, especially going forward, because these key levels are, especially in your downtrend, are going to serve as places to possibly go short. So yeah, just give me a second. Oh my God, Shabazz, why? If you guys don't mind, when am I doing that? That starts Wednesday and Thursday. That's in the Discord. So okay, so number one on SPY is we are up against this, see this whole mess right now, and you see where we bounce, we get this. Let me zoom over for TikTok. There it is. Okay, so right here, this is the 408.50, okay? That is where we closed out today. We did fill our gap. Same thing, most moving averages on higher time frames are still moving straight to the downside. So we still have, and I'll show you where those at are in just a second. But above that level, if we can push above that tomorrow, I would say the first level to watch is 411 or 410 and 411.50. Those are going to be the first levels as far as day trading or scalping that you're probably going to want to keep an eye on. If you go to the 15-minute time frame, those levels are easier to identify. Ready? Look at the consolidation here, right there. Okay, pull back. Where do we bounce? Right there. Where do we consolidate? On top. We do bounce. That's our apex retest. And then you end up closing out underneath that. But that'll be your first level to watch, including that. Got about an extra 15K. The top application is going to be TradingView's heat map. So anyway, tomorrow, if this inverse head and shoulders plays out, that's what I would like to see is a push above that level. On the flip side, okay, so the one thing to keep in mind here is this right here. So SPY, if it breaks or rejects this channel, there's a good chance that we will return back to support. Now, that's not guaranteeing. You could get greedy bears trying to go for this gap. But that's what I would be expecting. And that level right there is 404. 404, and then the bounce level could be around 403.50. So, oh shit. So right there, that's the build on SPY. Very easily, we could go and fill this gap right here. There's also a gap here to the downside. So those would be targets if we do fall. These are, I'm telling you guys what, these are heavy. I mean, and there is a lot of short flow coming in, but these are huge levels if we do end up pulling back. So places like 403, you can expect some difficult trading conditions unless we have high volume. Today, I know that a lot of you learned. So let's talk about this. And I know this is unsolicited, but it needs to be talked about. So today, I watched, as I stopped trading, I watched a high number of individuals trying to take trades, trying to short Facebook at support right here, getting faked out. Again, trying to take shorts there. It bounces, longs, chasing back and forth. And the number one thing that you guys have to remember when you're trading during days where we are awaiting a catalyst, a lot, especially something like Powell speaking, that is going to provide liquidity and volume to the market. And so when we lose that volume, you guys can see the difference in price action. So this is the meeting, and I'm going to highlight it right here. This is the meeting. And this is after, I think, what, 10:30. So what is the rule that we usually give you guys, and obviously waiting for, you know, candles to close, but from 10:30 until the meeting, right before the meeting, you saw no volume and no direction. And that's one of the reasons why I cut any day trades that I had, and then we scalped Facebook to the downside. So it'll be done. The backflip. If I do a backflip, listen, if I do a backflip for Brian, it'll be a little legitimate TikTok video. So you'd have to like leave the comment, because I can't just do a backflip and be like, this guy on live told me to do it. You're gonna have me break my hip though. So anyway, just something to remember. I'll do Facebook later, but see the next one. Just a lesson. So those of you guys who are trying to force trades today, that's a tough lesson that a lot of you had to learn. So. Is the stock market going to recover? I mean, it's built to eventually, yes. All right, so it looks like we got a channel here on AMD. Currently retesting. So now that we have the dynamic setup, we can't just rely on something like that. we need to mark out these critical levels. And because the price action is very choppy here, I'm going to throw up these pivot points. So if you have, and I'm just telling you on TikTok, the latency there is probably about the same as TikTok, but the link is in the bio. If you have a question and you want it answered, or a chart, one of the stocks looked at, you got like a 90% chance of having it charted there. So just throwing that out there. So. Okay, so AMD, like its counterpart, NVIDIA, both showing strong price action. AMD's had earnings, and you can see that the volume here is incredibly high. Moving averages are lagging, and if you guys know anything, or if you guys remember what I usually will talk about as far as volume, or as far as my moving averages on the daily, anytime you approach a major resistance, if my moving averages are lagging, and those are going to be the most bullish moving averages, like the 9-day and the 20-day EMA, or the 9-day moving average and the 20-day EMA. And you don't have to use those, but you do have to understand that when you hit a supply like most of the market has, there is bound to be either some resistance, which you saw today. We saw the immediate rejection. And there's one dynamic here to keep in mind is Powell today said that we could expect more pain, or to be ready for pain. And that's something that's really not going to encourage people to continue buying. But that being said, there is a unfilled gap on AMD at 106.75. There is the next resistance, which is just simply a psychological number at 105. So those are both levels to watch to the upside, because I doubt, and you can see the consolidation underneath 105, the bounce here on 105, the consolidation underneath here. And again, there's two key levels, but that's where you would want to see AMD move to the upside. This candle that we saw close the day, this kind of like a long-legged doji nearly, these tend to be continuation candles, but again, any type of gap up tomorrow, and that's what I would be most concerned about, is if we do see a gap up tomorrow, I would almost expect an immediate rejection and pull back to today's high. So how do you add the pivot points? You go to indicators up at the top left hand corner, and it'll just be, if you literally just type in pivot points, it's pivot point standard. All right, so the next one is Tesla. I will say on the lower time frame that this does have what you could consider to be a bull flag. Strong uptrend, good volume, consolidation underneath your resistance. Most things are moving to the upside. Whole ribbon indicator is expanding. So volume, again, number one, is substantial. So all that being said, being up against a major resistance or not. One last thing. There is a gap as well at 103.75. So bullish divergence. Do I ever watch RSI? Yeah. Stochastic. I don't use the stochastic as much, no. But I do watch the RSI. All right, so the next one is Tesla. If you guys are on TikTok, make sure to leave a like. I do really appreciate it. Okay, so I already have this one charted up pretty well. This one's closing out with this triangle. Take a look at that. That is descending. It is moving to the downside. This is our 1, 2, 3. So third touch of resistance. We closed out basically right at it. And then if you step back, move up here, draw a downtrend from the high, move it down there, you'll see that there is the possibility to see Tesla reach. So this is where key levels and confluences are where basically indicators or key levels will cross. And so that being said, if Tesla sees a strong move to the upside out of this setup, which again, if you gap up, 775 has been that locked in. It's been locked in. It's been a point of control on the lower time frame. The more you zoom in, there it is. And so all that being said, Tesla moving to the upside above 775 and 785, more than likely you will see a move into the 820s for this downtrend retest. So if you guys see the downtrend here, and then go look at this. So starting from this low, moving down there, look at that beautiful channel on Tesla. It looks really, really good. So at least you have some containment here on Tesla. And you would just want to see, again, a break to the upside here. So one reason that I have that level, 780 right there. Look at that major support and then resistance. All right, so the next one, and I'm actually going to tweet this out just because it's kind of an impressive setup right now. So if you guys want this chart, you can just go to my Twitter. All right, that looks good. All right, so the next one we got is Mullen Automotive. Oh my God. Oh my God. So this is when the chart starts to look like this, I start to look at the fundamentals, right? Or what is the company got going on? Look at this garbage. Oh my God, that is horrendous. Oh my God. Sorry. What happened here? All right. So anyway, back to business. Lower time frame, daily time frame. I guess we'll just keep it within since March. Looks like you might have a little downtrend break there. There it is. So you kind of curling up with what looks to be a rising wedge. That's Mullen. So again, you know, key levels, and I really don't like charting stocks like this just because there's low liquidity. They're not good. I mean, sometimes if you load the boat before the news, or you know, if you're early that way, it could be a good play. Maybe check the short interest or short volume and see if it's high. If it is high, maybe you see off of earnings. Is that today? It says the slow jazz. Hell yeah, I play slow jazz. I have to play music while I'm trading, or otherwise, which is probably, you would think with all the other things that I'm listening to, that would be terrible, but I can't function. So anyway, 130, 140, excuse me, is your next level to the upside, and then obviously 150. But the real level to break is going to be the 160 level, 162, 160 and 162. So you can see that level right there. That's where you bounce on Mullen. So back here, nice bounce right there, gap up, hold, and then you do get some heavy retest of that level before breaking down to the downside. So not a lot of volume here, poo-poo. So needs volume. Hopefully that's what earnings bring in. So COP, ConocoPhillips. Please check Marathon. We'll take a look at that in a minute. If you guys are just tuning in on the TikTok, remember YouTube is the best place to have your tickers charted. So look at COP, and you know what? I feel like every time I chart any of these companies, I'm just doing Rollman a disservice, because really, you know, he has our admin, you know, as far as swing trades, the man's got a keen eye for this shit. He really does. Most people get scared right here, right? He didn't even flinch. he literally entered and then just doubled down. I mean, and ConocoPhillips gave us a multiple good pops, but yeah, so this one up against your daily resistance, that's really simple, right? So you got a little doji there. I just want to see it move above the 108.30. Energy could be losing a little bit of steam as it moves into, I'm not quite sure if this is all-time highs. Okay, yeah, so this would be all-time highs. If you look at the weekly, tons of build there. So you may see a $110, $120 stock. I can't tell you what catalyst is going to cause that, but we do see, constant tensions as far as the war is concerned, with with Ukraine, Russia, stuff like that. So one thing to take note of, very clean support level here on COP. So that's one thing to watch on the weekly time frame. So good setup here. If you do not break up above highs or say something, I'm not a gas guy, so I don't play a lot of energy stocks, but this does not break to the upside. I would expect for ConocoPhillips to hit a dumpy and possibly turn to support. But again, that would only happen catalyst wise. So we would need to see something to actually cause them to do that. So anyway, right now you've got a good build underneath that resistance. You need to get above 108, period. End of story. Buy big in one stock and hold for 2 to 3 years. Some people it works like that. I mean, here's the thing. You got to think about what's going on, right? In the world. Look at Apple, okay? If you would have invested in Apple before, or which we have some members, she's probably not on with us now, but she's been holding Apple for she held Apple for like 20 years or something like that. That's all she had. She had nothing else. And when I met her, I was only trading Apple and sharing my ideas on TradingView. And that's all she traded. That's how she learned how to trade, was just strictly trading. She went from obviously taking, I don't want to disclose too much, but she took profit on those, which obviously did her well. But that movement, almost like, you can't expect for Apple to, like, I doubt Apple like reinvents itself, right, into a far more profitable company. They're already a solid, extremely profitable company. Right now, they may end up going through a rough patch due to supply chain issues. And if you guys look at Michael Burry's thesis, there are also causes with competitors and stuff like that. Is Rivian being squeezed? There's a possibility of a squeeze. Yeah, I know what Hertz is at right now. So anyway, there is a possibility, and I've heard it worded this way, and I'm not going to put this out there as a fact. Okay, so take it as with a grain of salt. There's a fracturing that could be happening, right? As we move and technologically advance, right? And we start to prioritize different technology. We don't know. People are trying to reinvent the wheel out here. And so moving into the future, you're going through that painful turnover, if in my opinion, which is obviously driven. Anytime bad things happen in the world, unfortunately, it drives innovation. And we're switching. The whole world's trying to go green. So again, there's a lot of things that can change, and that's just my thoughts. So again, I do technical analysis, so I do look into the fundamentals of things, but I've never advertised myself to be a fundamental guy. Not saying I'm not, just not my thing. So, all right, the next one that we got. What time will charting be? Charting is right now. The next one is SQ. Also Rolls-Royce buy. You know what? I wouldn't mind buying a little bit of Rolls-Royce, especially for that one guy who just constantly lets me know to buy Rolls-Royce. Okay, so Square has an interesting setup. Now, I've told you guys multiple times that I do take heed to my whole ribbon, all right? I know a lot of people, say don't rely on indicators. I don't, but I do look at where the price and the indicator meet, and what are the importance of that level. And if you look at that, that is where we're at right now. That's 85, 75, holding this inverse head and shoulders. So we have to break above it. Now, if you go look at where this blue line, I'm just going to call it the blue, it's a 500 HMA. This is also up against, and this is why I look for confluences, right? Indicators with no confluences are useless to me. So for those of you who are anti-indicator or whatever the case may be, indicators are there to back up the fundamentals for me, or as far as technical analysis is concerned. So where I see a key level, if I see a lot of moving averages hovering around it, I'm gonna go ahead and bank on it being tough to move through. So that being said, taking a step back, we would need to move into or above. Now, do you see where I marked that red line? That is exactly, and I'll explain this really, really quickly. So this whole ribbon, right? It has two moving averages, all right? And if you go over here to your data window, which you guys can't see on TikTok, but it's over here. There's a little data window over there. If you look at that data window, those of you on YouTube, you'll see the M hole, which I always love saying this, and the S hole. So you've got the S hole and the M hole. The S hole is at 91, the more I say it's the worse it sounds, 91.20, right? So that's an accurate level there. And then the M hole is at 85.50. So that's the space in which I would like to see Square move tomorrow. So if Square moves tomorrow off of a big move to the upside, you've got levels like 87, 85, and then really you've got, I wouldn't call it blue skies, but you've got good enough volume to see a decent move to the upside. And then the main level that would be above us if we do continue moving up is 97 bucks, on 97.25, excuse me. Look at I do not look at crypto coins. I'm sorry. I feel it's irresponsible for me to do that. Sorry. Probably not, but I just don't. I can't. I have a hard time, like, I almost feel like I'm making up shit, when I start to chart these coins. So I just saw like 30 people leave. Oh, time tomorrow. I'm probably going to do it around 5 o'clock. So the charting exercises will likely be held around. This account code is simple25, all caps. The charting exercises that we do tomorrow are going to be held around 5:30. Um, Tomorrow, Julio, we're going to be doing a deep dive. I'm going to get Manny to hop on with us, and he's going to talk about fibs. So if you guys are in the Discord, 5 o'clock, 5:30 Eastern time. So just to keep that in mind. And just to explain again what we're doing, basically tomorrow. Okay, so all these lines that I have, right? All these key levels that I'm talking about, it's always fun to see me do it or watch somebody else do it, but I'm going to test and help you guys strengthen your skills as far as finding these key levels, but also timing you, right? So that way you have a feeling of what it's like to have to mark out these key levels in real time. So in real time, yes, Eastern time. In real time, oh, yes, Eastern time. Just to be 100% sure, I am going to post. So until I post the time, 5:30, I have to talk with Manny. That's the only variable here. I'm going to talk to Manny and see if he's going to do it on Thursday or if he wants to do it on Wednesday. If he's going to do it on tomorrow with me, then I may schedule it a little bit later, but I will let you know 100%. So 1:30 a.m. here. Oh, damn. I will record it. So it will be recorded. Brush up on those skills, though. Yes. If you need any videos or if you're looking, Trading with Manners on YouTube has a great explanation on fibs. So if you're curious about that. All right. I'm making my way, guys. The YouTube chat is the way to go. If you have a request, I'm literally making my way down right now. Yeah, this stream's gonna get taken down because I'm not supposed to be streaming this music through my YouTube channel, but that's okay. I think I make like 15 bucks off of each stream. All right. The next one that we have is Lowe's. Did they have earnings today? Was that today or is that tomorrow? If this is tomorrow, I'm just gonna give you the setup, all right? Okay, May 18th. All right, well then, if I thought I could have sworn I saw Lowe's had earnings, right? Hold on. Yeah, okay, never mind. I can't see why we would be bullish tomorrow given what he said. So that's really what I'm thinking is I don't know. The man talking about, pain, it could scare the masses. So all right, so here's your setup on Lowe's. To be honest with you, it's got a pretty good setup. It's got a falling wedge here on the daily. If you guys know anything about falling wedges, I like to, and this is pretty accurate, I can show you guys. I like to measure from top to bottom on the falling wedge, right? And then from there, what I usually will do is divide that in half. And that'll be where my price target, that's how I find my price target on falling wedges. So 50% of that setup would be right there at that pivot point, which is 217.25. That's also really, really close to our supply at 219. So you may see a push to 219.70 off of earnings. You might actually see a strong move to the upside. Otherwise, to the downside, because we don't always rely on technical patterns going into earnings, right? To the downside, we want to mark out, again, key levels, right? Because on earnings, most of the time, if you're going to fall, you're going to fall onto, or you're going to go to supply, or you're going to go to demand. And you can track that pretty accurately. Please don't say more chop. Oh, I don't want to say it, man, but listen, I traded through the kangaroo market last year. You want to talk about pain and suffering? Oh my God. There was no swing trades. There was nothing. It was just scalp, everything, scalp all the time. If you guys don't mind on TikTok, make sure you guys let your finger hit a little seizure on the screen for me. I appreciate it. I'm trying to get all of these requests. All right. QQQ, the next one. That is the whole ribbon indicator. I tweeted it out last night. All right, so like its counterpart in most major ETFs, this is your downtrend. So I'm gonna clear this up. I'm gonna get rid of my pivot points here. So take a look at the Qs, right? Looks like we will see 313.50, right? Based on what I see right now, inverse head and shoulders, lower time frame, okay, downtrend and supply. This is a confluence. This is what I mean when I say there's a confluence there, right here. Why? It's even timing, right? In your head, you can kind of time potential moves. So in the morning, or even possibly towards power hour, we could see that strong move to 313 or let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and just play it safe and say 311.50, but 311.50 could be where that downtrend is. 312.50 is the only place above it that I saw. So Am I bullish? Maybe. I think there's a play to the upside, maybe, potentially, quick. But here's the thing that I don't do. And here's the one thing that I know about bull market or bear markets is they want you to like the movement to the upside. They want you to um, buy in. Bear market rallies are often more intense or vigorous, volatile than your standard bull market. That being said, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a stronger move to the upside, but that doesn't mean that we won't see something like this. Do you see the size of this 4-hour candle right here? Look at that. This 4-hour candle has, but here's the thing. Again, what were we up against? 1, 2, 3. What's that magic number? And then we also had the downtrend, right? So we had a confluence, a key level, psychological level at 330. So all of those things, and someone can call me scared. I just know how to trade the way that I know how to trade. And we were well above the 9-day moving average multiple times. This is one of the first times going at the beginning of the May we kind of curled, but this is one of the first times that I've seen the 9-day moving average point sort of to the upside, which could be a bullish sign. But again, I will watch and wait. 310, 311.50, and 312.50 are all going to be hard. If we gap up somehow, I will literally probably not even trade. Can you imagine still outside fixing stuff? Not for somebody else. But I love doing that. I still love woodwork. I fix shit when I think I break shit on purpose sometimes. But I love, yeah, my hands are fucking, look at my fingernails have dirt in them right now from gardening outside. I like out doing that stuff, so. All right, so we got QQQ kind of unlocked there. I'm going to set a couple of alerts at these trend lines while I do them. Okay, so one last thing to mention. All right, so by some miraculous, miracle that the Qs end up doing this. So this break in trend is a lower time frame downtrend. But the main thing, okay, that this is fucking cool. Sorry. Excuse my language, but this is cool because look at this shit. Look at that channel. And guess what? Guess what? We could rip like this to the upside and still be bearish. So again, above 310, we can talk shop. We got levels like 320 to get, and we could possibly even see a rip up to 330. So, but we'll talk about it when we get there, because at the end of the day, there's always more downside potentially. And look, we have 1, 2, 3 taps off of this major support level on the Qs. If we were to reverse it and send it back down to the downside and break that around 280, because we are seeing some strong flow, that doesn't mean that's the truth. We've seen flow absolutely get demolished, but there is some strong flow for some pretty low strikes on the Qs. I put my mom's 401k in Luna at $1, but read one wrong article. Now she needs to work 385 more years until retirement. Yeah, you got this, man. No, I hope you're kidding. That's got to be a joke. I feel like I've seen you in here before. Yeah, that's my resistance and support. Made MX. Yo, that's the kind of comments that really, really, I really, really love to see is that somebody else you're already putting in work on your own chart and then looking, because at some point, right, when you go and read books about technical analysis, it's a giant agreement, which can be a double-edged sword. But yeah, he's just making jokes. I was, yeah. All right. So the next one that I've got is Twitter, which seems to be hot on everybody's mind. Remember when we called for puts? Remember when? That was sketchy. Might have to take some risk. All right, so I talked to you guys about this one before. This is going to be tough because I really believe that there are some algorithms at play right now. I found it really interesting that this trend line was present and the 500 HMA is there as well. So don't be surprised if the Qs move to the upside. The fact that Elon still obviously hasn't changed, he's only talked about a lower price, but he hasn't really changed tone as far as like purchasing. So there is the potential for gap fills to the upside above 39 into $40.50. So don't be surprised if you see Twitter, if he says anything. But below the 36.30 level, you've got a strong chance of moving back down to 33 bucks. And then underneath that, you've got 31 bucks. So imagine, I mean, if you're trying to like ruin your mother's life, maybe, but. Thank you guys on the TikTok. We're almost up to 10K or 10K likes. I really appreciate that. What is that? AMC. All right. AMC. Damn. Damn. Did it just extend it? Oh boy. Look at that. Just look at it. Nasty. All right, so AMC bounced off of its point of control. If you zoom out and you look at all of this data, where AMC is at is where a lot of the squeeze action happened. So take a step back and look around here. So daily time frame. Did I miss Apple? No, I haven't gone over it. So yeah, so AMC right now, in this channel, and hitting that main support level, this is $9.75. This is where that squeeze action happened. So right in here. And this is where that point of control is. That's $9.30 and $9.75. That is where most of the people who made their millions on AMC loaded the boat, because this thing obviously squeezed into the 70s. But that being said, if you move below it, you're in trouble. So I would say anywhere below $9.30, $9 even, you're probably going to head back down to like $5. But otherwise, you got a retest level at 1450, 1470, marked out right here. So I'll just pull that up. So check that out. So you're obviously going to go and retest the level that you break. So that's AMC right there. And you've already retested it once. So above 1385, you could see a decent move possibly from AMC. I don't, you guys know I don't trade this stock. I don't trade that stuff. So hot sauce is the best. Nice. NVIDIA? I think I already did NVIDIA. I did. Macy's. So I actually have a great setup. If you have a small account, Alta, drop that request in the Discord, or in the YouTube channel. So, okay, so here's the deal with Macy's, because I was considering taking a position on it. It does have earnings coming up on the 26th of May. That could send it hurtling in one direction or another. 1965 is supply for Macy's to the downside, but right now it's currently contained in this little descending triangle. So go to the hourly time frame. It's a little bit more definitive. So, in my opinion, and today I gave this analysis, 2167 if you move to the upside, and 2180 is where you could possibly see a move back up or break of resistance. Otherwise, if you look, kind of spread this out a little bit, you'll notice a potential head and shoulders, which you would see a move down below 2050 and basically $20 even. So. How long do I base my analysis over? Depends on the move that I'm looking for. If I'm looking for a long-term move, then I'm going to be looking probably looking at all supply and demand within the last, I would say like trade year, 2 years possibly. Depends on the length of the analysis or the position that I'm looking to take. If it's a company that's been around for a while, there's probably a lot of levels either up or down. If I'm looking at daily trades, oftentimes I'll just be looking at kind of like with Macy's. I'm just looking at, and this has obviously been in this chop zone since I believe October of 2021. Yeah, so it's been in this zone for a long time. I'm thinking it should probably break out or break down. Snap. All right. Start from the highs, pull it down, start from the lows. I don't know if I should ignore that or not. I'm going to ignore it. Here you go. Let's mark out some key levels really quick. Snapchat, 2775 is the nearest key level above you. So that would be a likely retest. I don't see a clean retest of this level after dropping down to your lows. So I would say Snapchat to 2785. That would also, remember, whatever feeds, the 5 minute feeds into the 15, the 15 feeds into the hourly, etc., etc. Would that be a falling wedge or a falling pennant? This would be a falling wedge. But anyway, so lower time frame. So if you go to the hourly, you'll notice a downtrend here. Okay, right? Because we don't want to be blinded by one side. So right there, and I find it very interesting that we have the 2560 marked out by this HMA, but it would be a break above that mark that would give you that break in downtrend, lower time frame downtrend, and then you could start possibly looking at levels like around 30, 38, maybe 33, 35. Have you heard of NLY pays a crazy dividend but trades relatively sideways? No, I haven't. All right, I'm trying to make my way down as fast as I can. I've already done Rivian. How's Amazon doing? All right, so this one, I believe has the megaphone. It does. So this is a megaphone, descending megaphone, right? So hold on one second. A descending broadening wedge is also what this could be called. This is what this looks like. All right. So just pulling up a Google image. That's what a descending broadening wedge usually will look like. That's not to say that this is an accurate wave theory. But did I just close out my... No, I didn't. But anyway, so that's a descending broadening wedge forms as the price moves between the upper resistance, lower support trend lines multiple times as the trading range expands during downtrend in price. Price should touch each line 2 to 3 times to be considered a valid pattern. This pattern looks like a megaphone pointing down and to the right. So that is exactly what this is. Now, this is your 1, 2, 3. Now, here we go. Amazon, lower time frame. What is this? That certainly looks a little sketchy, right? Kind of looks like a rising wedge. So if, and we can, don't sleep on it, we can, if we do not break this resistance, and if everybody's thinking bullish, low. I mean, I hope to God we're not about to crash and this is what they're setting it up for, but um, damn, damn would be the only thing I would have to say if that happened. But this is a valid pattern, and it is at its third wave. So above 23, 2250, I would consider this a potential upside trade, looking at the 2360s and 2380. Yeah, I would just say this whole range right here is pretty you get a lapse in volume here, but here you've got heavy walls at 2388, 2400, and 2365. So a raising wedge. No, you're okay. A raising wedge. Don't say so. No, it's fine. A rising wedge inside of a falling wedge. Yes, absolutely. Because what do we do this for, right? So this may seem kind of confusing, right? But it's step by step. So where this is a pattern on the 4 hour, right? I'm just charting it on the hourly. I need to know what's going on the downside. That's or on the lower time frame because that's going to tell me about price action. That's going to tell me about how the stock is trading and what levels to expect. So once I establish the framework, then I move down to the lower time frame where I start to see the price action and then I can look for valid setups, a fake out, right? 2335, 2340 maybe, and then we would watch for a potential rejection as that is a supply. It is a psychological number, and we could expect a projection. If we break above it and we move into the 2360s, all right, well, let's see Amazon into the 23, 90s, and we could expect some further upside, maybe even going for gaps. So, but that's only saying if we break resistance. Um, yeah. Yo, 10K likes on TikTok, y'all. I appreciate it. I can see those hearts flying. Look at it. I'm watching. Does that make sense to everybody here? We're going into a recession. You don't want Amazon. I don't want Amazon. I'm not buying Amazon. They're about to split, dude. Nice. Potter's kitchen does sticks too. What? You guys aren't going to my kitchen again. Stay out of my kitchen. All right. Making my way downtown. You know what? I'm gonna tweet this one out too. This shit's badass. Look at that. Look at that. Baby Bezos. Jeffrey Bezos. Thanks to you, the chosen one. All right. Yo, thank you for the likes, y'all. Damn. Y'all are killing it on TikTok. TikTok hates me though. All right. Because obviously, I haven't been able to take a ton of requests off of TikTok. I'll take some after I stop on YouTube. So, all right. So just like its counterparts now, I do have conflicting feelings when I see gap ups like this, right? So you see a gap up and then you break up and then you correct yourself. So you open up underneath that resistance. So I'm thinking this is valid. This is your resistance level, just like the rest of most stocks right now, holding the inverse head and shoulders. This one, again, like most stocks, is at support. And it does kind of look like a bear flag. So kind of like pull that up right there. And then right there. Kind of has a bear flag look, just like Amazon, maybe rising wedge, not quite there yet. But anyway, are you jumping up here? What's up, kitty cat? What's up? Watch your tail, shawty. Yeah, so I would just say right there, watch for Disney to break that trend line above that 109. Watch 109.77, and then you've got a 111 even. Those are going to be critical levels for Disney to make highs at. So again, here's your overall setup on Disney. Beautiful standard deviation channel. Third, 1, 2, 3 taps of support right there. So watch for this standard deviation channel, which is right there to get retested. Again, higher time frame starting from the high there. There is a downtrend that can be tested at 115. 115. So I did do Facebook. I think I did. Yeah, I did Facebook. It's on YouTube. Tomorrow's lows. Got it. Okay. All right. RDFN. All right. And I'm gonna again switch over here. It is 9 o'clock on the dot. So I'm gonna do a couple more chart requests here on TikTok or on YouTube, and then I'll hop over on TikTok for just a few minutes before shutting down for the night. All right. So Redfin. Here's your daily downtrend. RDFN. You say it fast, sounds like our Redfin anyway. So that's your downtrend. Now let's go to the 4-hour. So this is the current setup at the moment. You are curling back up off of your major moving averages, as well as your whole ribbon indicator. So that's pretty interesting. Oh, what's it? Bro, stop. Sorry, my cats. Yo, I don't really feel like explaining all that. I don't even have like feelings towards it. I just, again, nobody makes money. I've yet to find a single soul who's bettered their life off of that man's call out. So you can ask me that some other time. Really quickly, Redfin pulling off the top. Check that out. So I would say that Redfin 1275 above 1150. Above 1150, which seems to be the key level here. I would watch for a move up into the 1250s for Redfin. So it looks okay, but anywhere back below 1030, and you're more than likely going to see continuation to the downside. So. Habla Matador. Yes, Manny's on here. Manny, you should do a guest request and hop on TikTok, and that way everybody will follow. You can do that, I think. Get in here. All right. I'm going to jump around here and do a few different random ones. Ulta Beauty, looking kind of poopy. Oh my. Let's look at the daily here. Oh my God. When would my stock go up? Good heavens, dude. This thing looks like absolute stock diarrhea, man. This is rough. I hate stocks that trade like this. It is a nightmare. All right, so this is the way that I see it right now, and you are approaching earnings on May 26th, which is the only catalyst that obviously can save this thing from falling even further. All that being said, this one has a key level 370 to the downside. It's currently holding its 9-day moving average, but below 387.80. Watch for that gap to fill to 380. All that being said, you are in this area, which is not when I want to trade a stock. Okay, there might be some, some ups and downs playing, bouncing up and down, but this is just absolutely. This is I keep saying it over again, but this is awful. This is absolutely one of the worst charts as far as price action. Because how do you trade something like this? It's just almost impossible. So all that being said, I would say that this thing's on its way to around 367 based on its current trajectory. Now, it might start moving on earnings, and you did have what looks to be an hourly falling wedge. That's the only thing that I'm going to throw out here as far as a bullish dynamic. So lower time frame, that's cleaner. That's the hourly time frame where you can see that, and then this big resistance that we're up against, right? And that's 398.50. And you've already tapped 400. So basically call it 400. Above 400, you've got 405 and you've got the gap at 407.30. If you make it above there, then maybe you head back up to the 416 mark. But otherwise, you may stay in range going into earnings. One thing I do want to show you, now that you see the higher time frame setup, now I'm going to go and start to look at what's going on in the last couple of days. And what I can see right here is a very clean resistance off the top. And I'm sure that's my support. So watch for Ulta Beauty to hit 382.30 tomorrow, possibly. That's my analysis. Do I ever read the news about stocks I chart? Not the request that you guys give me. But yes, every morning, so this is what I do. Every morning when I'm horrible. Wow, thank you. someone's insecurities. I usually go over here to Benzinga, where we've got like this news box. The link is in my bio if anybody here wants a free trial. You can do the Benzinga trial with just using your phone number, try it out. But I essentially will go put, Facebook, and this pulls up all of the articles that are relevant with Facebook, in last forever. Actually, you could just keep scrolling. I think this shit goes on forever. Newsfeed. Oh, it's disconnected right now. But yeah. So I mean, I do go and look for price upgrades and downgrades. One of our members today just showed me one of the beautiful things about briefing.com, which again, I just got to explore some things. But upgrades and downgrades. Look at that. Look at all of these upgrades. This is set up so beautifully. Weebush. So I may end up either having somebody in the chat, one of the moderators. I may end up opening up a channel, or I might even contact briefing.com and see if we can't connect on bringing this into the chat directly or something. That would be sick. I love them though. They're so cool. Love these guys. Should probably buy their product though. You got puts on it? Nice. SoFi. Here's a dynamic lower time frame trend line that you can watch for a break too. I'm going to set an alert on that. Manny wants to see train and carrier charts so he can short HVAC companies. Did he leave a request? I didn't see it. You good? Rogue? All right. Oof. You can just scrape it with a script and get it in your channel with some code. I don't know what you just said. Scrape it with what? Debit card? Listen, I will do a skill exchange. If someone wants to teach me how to code, I have always wanted to learn how to do that. I can do very minimal coding, so copy and paste work is my forte. Instantly making your eye twitch. I did Macy's already. Script that gets the info from the site. Yeah, let me know. DM me on YouTube. I'll fucking commission someone. You know who I am? Well, that sounds a little creepy. Are you outside my house right now? Not just kidding. All right. All right. CVX. I think I've almost done everybody's request on YouTube. So, not yet. No, stay down there. Your big old tail. You keep rubbing up against the camera. So stay down there. I'll start taking some requests off of TikTok here in just a second. So, what's happening now? Oh shit! YouTube is being weird. Hold on, YouTube's crashing. There it is. Okay. Anyway, CVX, just like COP, below 172, or really below 171, you would want to watch for a pullback to 167, where things could obviously pull back from there. But the whole energy is thriving right now, and this is the third tap of resistance. So, like COP and the rest of these energy oil counterparts, I'm expecting them to move to the upside. So I would look at a 180 move to the upside. So it's Echo. Oh, okay, cool. MU. I already have this one charted. I'm anticipating resistance at $77 flat, right around my 200-day moving average, where I have a pretty interesting confluence there. And then, I mean, technically it's still in a daily downtrend. It's up against your supply. I've got a 75.55, and then if you break 75.55, watch the 77 level. But if not below that, kind of be thinking that you might end up seeing some downside, but it looks like you're going to go and test resistance first. The daily candle was pretty strong here. So, all right, I'll do SE, and then I'm going to go ahead and switch over to TikTok. So you guys are on TikTok. I'm going to hang out with just you guys, so make sure to slam that like button really quickly. Get some people in here. Rising wedge, 15-minute time frame, not quite yet. Does have the potential for a head and shoulders on the 15-minute daily time frame. All right, SE is currently trending inside of this channel. It did close up above its whole ribbon indicator here with a doji on the daily. A lot of people like to play dojis on the daily, and this one did have earnings, so it's probably going to have some decent volume. But above 83.22, you've got a major resistance level at 85, 86, a psychological number, and then another one at $90.40. If you can break above that, that's actually probably a decent play, and I would actually be looking for a move into the $100 level for SE. Otherwise, to the downside, below 74.30, watch for a pullback and a gap fill, $70.40. Anywhere below that, and you're probably going to dump. All right, YouTube, I'm out. I'm going to hang out with TikTok here. I'll see you guys later. See you tomorrow morning. Peace.